I should learn to make wine. Maybe buy some land, grow some grapes and squish them between my toes.
No, not at all. I think it's a great idea.
It's amazing. Some things of the past remain with us.
What? Claire, what's wrong?
I saw it in the hospital.
What did you see? You saw someone wearing that at the hospital?
No. I saw it when I touched Josh. I saw how he died. He was murdered by someone wearing that, I swear to it.
Are you telling me you saw someone kill Josh? I don't follow you.
Forget it. Just go back upstairs.
We must kill her tomorrow. She's becoming a nuisance. He is all that matters, and no one must get in the way.
Then I'll kill her tonight.
No, I will do it.
Tomorrow is a special day for my boy, and she will be his treat.
What are you thinking about?
That I can't figure you out.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. I want to help you, Claire.
Why did everyone think I need help? Do I seem incapable or imbalanced to you? I'm fine.
When people say that, it usually means the opposite. You've suffered a massive tragedy, Claire. I need you to understand that I'm here for you. Do you need a doctor?
Oh my God, not you too, detective. What do I need a doctor for, so you can figure me out?
I don't know why you're so angry. I'm only worried about you. You've got to rest. I thought maybe you needed something to calm your nerve.
I don't need drugs or chaperones. What I need is to figure out what the hell I just saw in that cellar. And since you want to get inside my head, and I want to get this over with, I'll be honest with you. I have an unusual talent, so to speak. I see things. I've seen things for years, much of it unpleasant, and always to the disbelief of those around me. And as a result, I've been over-medicated for it.
Claire, I wasn't trying to pry.
When I was 10, my mom told Josh and I that our dad died in a car accident. For 3 long years, I thought that God had ripped him away from me. But it wasn't God's doing. My father left this earth by his own hand. He sat in a forest, said a prayer, and blew a hole through his head. Just like that. He told my mom I saw him do it, that it unfolded right before my eyes, as if I was there. At first I thought she'd try to deny the story. But when I saw her face turn white, I knew. To make matters worse, she knew she couldn't hide things anymore. And from that moment on, I was sick. I needed treatment. I've had a few visions since then, including the one I had about Josh. Paulo, I know for a fact that my brother didn't drown. think I'm crazy, don't you?
No, Claire. I know how hard this must be for you.
God, you have no idea. Why'd you leave me all alone?
Claire, you shouldn't drink so much. It's not good to mix it with your meds.
What are you, my mother? Come on, Josh. Dance with me. Come on.
That's the last one, Professor. I ought to charge you double.
Mario, I buy the same paper here every morning. Yeah, I pay the same price. Why should I pay you double today?
Oh, come on. It's going to be worth some money someday. The story's like damn in it. Hey, you haven't heard, have you, Professor, about the murder?
There are murders every day in every country.
Oh, yeah? And what about disemboweled body found at the Giant's tomb? I don't remember reading about any Sardinian doing that sort of killing in my time.
Disemboweled?
Hey, I was only kidding. Professor, here's your change.
Sir, Bronzetti told me to put the list of suspects on your desk. Oh, and a Professor Giusti phoned early this morning asking for the detective on the Giant's Tomb case. Here is a report of our conversation.
Thank you.
What are you up to? Tourists. 3 of them were reported missing by their hotel. A girl and 2 guys. Their passports were collected this morning. Apparently, they were last seen in the company of 2 beauties who, reports say, could have been twins.
These Brits are probably hiding from their girlfriends. I'd like to talk about the Seer case.
That case is to be closed very soon, from what I know.
I think it needs to be further investigated.
Why?
I think he might be the victim of something other than a drowning.
Based on what evidence? Paolo, I don't have time for this. The autopsy report said he died with the fish. When you came through that door, I stupidly thought that you would bring me some good news.
Well, I have what might be a lead on the Giant's Tomb murder. A history professor named Giusti phoned the station today, said he'd read this morning's paper. He found similarities between the murder and a story from an ancient scroll he's been researching.
An ancient scroll?
Yeah. In the mid-15th century, a series of disembowelments occurred at the Giant's Tomb. He thinks we could have a copycat killer out there.
As much as you would like for me to say yes, Qasim, I can't. This Giant's Tomb case seems like a drug deal gone bad to me. You have those missing tourists to find. That is your job. The subject's closed. Don't let me down, Lazzari. There is a plan when conducting an investigation. Follow it.
You all right? You sounded troubled on the phone.
I am. I've got a million things on my mind. I wanted to tell you straight away. Josh's case is about to be officially closed.
But it can't. You can't allow that, Paulo.
It's not up to me. Believe me, if I could dedicate all my time to investigating your brother's death, I would. But I've got my hands full with serious cases right now, time-sensitive ones.
And Josh. His case isn't serious. I mean, he's dead. Why bother?
That's not what I meant, Claire. But you've got to face facts. The autopsy said...
I don't give a damn about the autopsy. My brother was always so smart. Except when he chose you as his best friend.
You've got it all wrong. I miss him more than you know.
Why won't you believe me? You owe it to me. And to him.
Claire, wake up, damn it. Are you okay?
You're always in my heart. I wish I was in yours. Don't turn your back on me. What are you afraid of?
How do you know about that?
Same way I know about my brother. She wouldn't believe in that stuff anyhow.
I never said. This isn't the right time or place to talk about
It
it.
never is. In all my past relationships, when I open myself up, when I make that decision to share my most personal, I'm always looked at as a disease.
I could never think about you like that. Look, I've got a lot to do today, so I was wondering if I could ask you to do me a favor.
What is it?
I spoke at length to a history professor from Cagliari about the Giant's Tomb murder. It sounded like maybe he knew something that could help us.
But what can I do?
If you could go down there and see what he's talking about, it would save me a day.
What am I supposed to find out?
I don't know. Maybe something that could be related to the murder, or even that of your brother.
So you believe me?
You'll be all right? By yourself?
Yeah.
Miss Claire Seer, please come in.
I will get you out of here.
In the matter regarding the unidentified and unknown sisters brought to Castle Sardo on the 17th of March in the year 1496, it is hereby stated that the Great Inquisitor, known only as Guillermo, has taken it upon himself to use his most persuasive methods in order to acquire a confession from the accused. These heretics, who have been caught for worshiping the devil, are going to be given a chance to redeem themselves.
They were convicted of murder and found guilty by the church for heresy. I'm sorry. Great one. We made a mistake. We did not have to say.
Don't think you won. You and your pathetic little god. The Great One will rise. We will not fail again.
Fail? You witches will soon burn. This madness will stop.
Miss Seer, are you all right?
I must have fallen asleep. I'm sorry.
I take it you've not partaken in the Italian afternoon naps.
No.
Quite understandable. I never was able to sleep while the sun was up. What were you dreaming of?
Yeah. Actually, it was more like a nightmare I had from reading this document. It was something about someone called the Great One, but I didn't see him.
If you had, you certainly would have never forgotten.
Who is he?
That is why I asked Lazari to come down here today. In order to explain, you need to know a bit about this country's oldest legends. The Neurologic civilization began over 2,000 years before Christ. Men lived in relative peace. The only real fear was from a race of giants that lived near the coast. They protected Sardinia from foreign invasion. But it was during this time that the inhabitants began to build the nuraghi. They were fortifications against these vicious large monsters that came inland at night and massacred every human they encountered.
So, according to legend, what happened to these giants?
There were never more than a few dozen that were known of. They had long lives, but they were not fertile. Toward the end, when there were only a few left, they made a pact with Dionysius, a pact that allowed them to rise again and again from the ashes. And in return, they carried out the demon's work. They had complete power over all creatures. Men slaughtered their families. Even animals turned on their own.
So why did they disappear?
Well, this is where the story ends. In reality, the Neurologic civilization disappeared suddenly without any explanation of how or why, taking the fate of the giants with them. It's said that the giants could be the inspiration for Homer's Cyclops.
Professor, about the Great One?
Oh, I almost forgot. This document that you were reading tells the story of two women who were caught trying to resuscitate a giant skeleton. They referred to it as the Great One, most likely one of the last of the giants. Unfortunately for historians, the priests killed the two women and burned the skeleton.
But how does someone resuscitate a giant skeleton?
I have an etching that was taken from an old stone tablet that I suspect is instructions for a resurrection ritual. Now, what did I do with it?
Bassano Peretti. I'm Detective Paolo Lazzari. I've just come to talk... Damn!